Yes, people. Easy people. I'm going to guess from that, you know who might be coming on. Yeah, big preview today. Chelsea versus Man City. Massive panel. What can I really say, man? Big up to everyone that's live right now. I can see 43 likes. Not good enough. Anyways, make sure you like the video. And I'm going to just get straight into it. Because see these people in my ear right now, yeah? Pause. I swear down. Not good enough. They think they can come for me. It's not even about my team yet. They're talking about my team. Yeah, anyways. All you guys, make sure you're smashing the like button. I'm not muted this time for the full time in a row. And make sure you subscribe as well. I'm going to go through a couple of the comments first before getting the panel. So let me have a little look. I know Sid's in here somewhere. I know Jack Napier is going to be around. If you see him, ban him. Can't be bothered with him anymore. Get on my nerves. Big up Yusuf, saying Chelsea are 10th in the league at the moment. Yeah, we love to see that one, don't we? Who else have we got here? Zohaib is saying Jude Bellingham's next club will reportedly be revealed at some point this month, according to a source. I have no idea. I think he still goes to Man City. I don't know why you'd want to go to Liverpool. That club stinks. Daniel, big up to everyone. Big up D1 Million in the building. I see you as well. A lot of people, a lot of blues in here. Sid, I see you. Blockbuster panel. Blue with the blue love heart. Away's in the building. MCFC Jugger. Martin, Hurad, and many, many more people as well. Mad Hatter, 2 points dropped. More are coming. So, anyways, before I do that, look, if you see in the bottom right corner right there, we've got a little sponsorship. It's not really your massive ones or whatever, but if you want a board game, you can literally scan that code and you can save up to 77% and you can get your team, go play with your friends. Board games are the new thing apparently in 2023. But before I do that, Big Ste has got a massive thing going on called the Terrace Cult, if you don't know. So in the top right corner, right there, you can scan that and it will go to his brand, his clothing line, which is also worn by people, boxers. Who is it? Tyson Fury is one of them. I would get the picture up of a certain football player, but I don't know if it will do any credit before he gets fined. But up there, as you can see, the Terrace Cult, massive. I'm sure Steve can tell you all about it as well. It will be literally down below as well when we go in with all the guests. But right there, as you can see, all from jackets, t-shirts, polos, hoodies, sweaters. I'll give you guys a little look at that as well. As you can see, look, all there for you. Just a little notion on that. So if you are interested, go check it out, or in the description if you can't scan the QR code. But might as well get these guys in here right now. If you can actually still hear me, yeah, of course. They're all here. No introductions needed because we are running for time. Some people have to leave. We got Easy People, Big Ste. We got Daps yourself, Mr. Rattler. We got Guni from Man Knows Football.
Get rattled.
Obviously, all the way in New York. Then we got man like Matisse, who is sour. And then also we got Younes on from the Big Six Extra, also with Daps. So appreciate all of you coming on. How we all doing?
I'm good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's mad. It's Wednesday already, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was just thinking. I thought it was Tuesday. It's Wednesday. It's nice Wednesday, and you know what? Everyone's dropping points. It seems to be the new thing in 2023. Everyone's dropping points. Actually, City, technically, we haven't played in 23 yet, but yeah, everyone except for your club, Cass, which means this is why you come on here shameless like you are, thinking that you can talk to teams that have been winning trophies.
How we always, well, they're just living off one trophy that they won that they shouldn't have won back in 2020 or whatever. Through a Kai Havertz goal, through a guy that they don't even want at their club no more.
I don't remember that
Mount, who want demanding 300k and he's holding them for ransom. Like, there's no point talking about my club when it's about Chelsea versus Man City right now. Man
Agreed.
City, look, the pressure's on with Arsenal. They drop points, Steve, as well. You guys have to go to the bridge tomorrow. It's not exactly a hunting ground for any time, but they haven't got Tuchel no more. And Chelsea don't look like they're anything great at the moment, currently, in my opinion. And I don't think any of these three down below also agree with it.
No, to be honest, we're not that great at the minute. You know, we're getting results here and there. We're dropping points. We shouldn't drop at places. We shouldn't drop points. We're making hard work of it at the minute. The big fella up front's obviously doing what he's paid to do, score goals. The rest of the team, it's a bit weird at the minute. We've got centre-backs at full-back. We've got full-backs in midfield. We've got Jack Grealish out wide. Doesn't look like he's allowed to cross. Mara's the same. Don't look like he's allowed to cross. And then we've got one of the best strikers in the world in the middle that's dying for a cross. So it is a bit strange. But when you've got Pep Guardiola as your manager, you do take these strange patches with the good patches. We have had it before. Usually takes something to happen to make him snap out of it. So we'll either get a tonking and he'll realise that he's dropped a bollock, or something will happen and then he'll revert back to what he knows best and tinker it a little bit, and we'll probably go on one of these runs. But the Everton game, overall in the Everton game, City didn't play that badly. You know, we gave the ball away once in the game and they broke and scored a fantastic goal. And once they had something to hold on to, then they made it 100 times difficult. Before that, they never even got anywhere near our box. But that's our own fault, not putting them to the sword. Chelsea tomorrow, I really don't know what to expect, because it's all right saying Chelsea aren't playing well and this, that and the other, but there's a lot of good players in that side, and you've got to get a reaction somewhere down the line. And, you know, Manchester City champions are coming to town. It's an ideal chance for them to put it right. So I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not going in there with my usual chest thumping, we're on the march, because I'll be lying to say that I'm getting that vibe off them at the minute. I just think we've got a tough patch coming now. We've got Chelsea, we've got Man United, we've got Tottenham. You know, 9 points out of them would be unbelievable. Then on again, I'd be saying, let's go, we're having it. But we're just getting away. We've got away with things in certain games what we shouldn't have got away with. You know, there's games where we should have been home and dry and we haven't seen it over the line. So from a Man City point of view, I don't want to come on here and lie and say everything's great. It's not great. It doesn't look great. We just got to keep on the coattails of Arsenal. All this, what goes on now, means fuck all until you get to that last 10 game of the season. That last 10 game of the season is the business end of the season. That's when you know, right, are we having a run-in? The run-in's not now, because there's going to be twists and turns. Like you say, United are having a bit of a run. You know, Liverpool are on the downward spiral. City are up and down. Arsenal have just dropped points last night. We'll see how they bounce back. So I don't know, mate. I'm going in the game open-minded. You just have to see what happens.
Well, I like how you mentioned 10th or 10, because there's someone else in 10. Isn't that right, Matisse? 10 is a common number right now.
You know, you are a devilish boy, you know that. As someone who's not seen much success over the last couple of years, your chest is awfully big. You been going gym?
No, I've been eating too much, if I'm being honest.
Nah,
Now
you're
I'm
eating
actually
too
on
much.
Friday.
You're
Yeah,
feasting. You're feasting on that Casemiro football, are you?
Yeah.
Hopefully, I want it to result in something for you, though. I really do.
No, you don't.
I wish you the best.
Well, he knows he's not going Turkey to get a chest job, so he might as well do it by eating a lot, right? Because he can't go fucking there because he ain't even in it.
As long as it's
Oh.
halal, innit? It don't matter. But
Yeah, I mean, we have been 10th before. It's not done yet. You know, we got to take over West London again first, and then worry about the rest of it after. You know, Brentford and Fulham are rising and ruining the streets at the moment. I think going into this City game, I'm quite surprised to hear Steve, and I spoke to Lewis on City Extra as well about this. I'm quite surprised to hear this kind of tone of not sure what they're going to get, because I know they've dropped points and they are second in the league, and it's not you know, Bernardo Silva and all these other things, but it's still City. And when you compare their problems with our problems, like, it's not even a comparison. Like, their team is still ridiculously good, and our team, yeah, on its day. But when was the last time we had one of those days? I mean, it's been one win in the last 8 games or something like that.
1 and 7.
Yeah. Well, and we haven't played well against the top 6 teams since Potter came in. We played Arsenal at home. We were bullied and bruised. We played Manchester United at home. We were lucky to get a point. We were poor that day as well. Yeah, we played Brighton, you know, who are, you know, above us. They battered us. So we're not playing very well against any team that is actually good. You know what I mean? So I think at the moment, Potter's got a lot to stand up for. He needs to, yes, we know that this is a long-term appointment. It's going to take time to get the recruitment back on track and, you know, start to wheedle out the players that don't want to be here and actually start building something for the long term and get out of our old ways. But that doesn't mean that you can just write off a season or it's free hits. You still need to compete and you still need to perform in games that you're not expected to maybe win, like this one, especially when you drop points against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, that's right. Guys, there's over 100 of you in here, 150, something like that. Make sure you get this to, I want minimum 200 likes. I can't lie. That's got all these guys on today. And if you don't get 200 likes, you're taking the piss. Anyways, Younes, man, nice to see you. I think it's the first time I've actually probably spoke to you. Is this his first time on Never Found That?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, first time.
Yeah, popping that cherry. We'd like to see it as well. Pause. Yeah, man. One of the more realistic fans. I wouldn't like to say Guni's that realistic about Chelsea, man. How do you see yourself at the moment? And how do you see yourself even... Can you even see yourself getting over the line against City?
Man, I mean, listening, just like Matisse said, listening to Big Steve, talking about the City's problems, if those are problems, I mean, with respect, because obviously I love everything you say, but when we hear that, it's like, okay, that's cute. Because our problems right now, I mean, we're all going into this game thinking, if Chelsea really have some sort of mentality within them, they should come out of that game, really having to leave everything on the pitch, really show that character and show that something that they've not shown so far, I think, since Potter's walked into the job. We've not seen it. And a lot of players have, I'd say, let us down. There's been reasons why Potter's been criticised and whatnot. It's kind of a balance between the two as to why things are not going right. That's a debate in itself. But tomorrow, we're playing Man City. And at the end of the day, the quality City have is ridiculous. Even when they have to turn to their bench, it's an established, well-balanced, well-oiled club with a well-oiled squad. And apologies, when they have to turn to someone on the bench, for example, if someone's off form, there's always someone there to step in. And even if it's not 100%, it's always good enough. With Chelsea right now, we've got starters in the team that everyone is doubting. We look to our bench and we're thinking, you're not really going to do much. The balance isn't there, especially since Reece James has got injured. I think that was the key. The short-term key for us was having Reece James in the team. When he's not there, we're damaged. So going into this tomorrow, trust me, confidence is not high whatsoever. Everyone's, I think, looking at this only one way. Even in the context of the game tomorrow, City have something to play for, realistically, and that's trying to chase Arsenal down. Arsenal dropped points, even though they played really well, so did Newcastle, but they dropped points. That's a chance for City to close the gap to 5. And they're fighting for a title. With us, we're in 10th. And top 4 is 10 points away because of your lads. So up in 4th. There's not really much incentive except pride. And right now, the one thing the fans are asking for from this team is some sort of pride. They're not showing it. So it's not looking good. Tomorrow, we can hope, but realistically, it's not really there.
Confident, Daps?
You know what? I think no one said anything I disagree with so far at all across the whole panel. Steve was spot on. The whole thing about titles not being won in January. I actually said, I think a couple of days before we played Everton, Igal had said that if City don't get within or get down that 5-point gap, then we won't win the league and Arsenal will win the league. And I said, mate, I don't expect us to get within 5 points of you by the end of January because I'm looking at the games we've got and I'm thinking that doesn't really matter. And what I said to him is that if City do get within 5 points of you, as in get it down to 3 points, then it's long for Arsenal because that is where I don't expect us to get that much closer to Arsenal by the end of January. I really don't. And then, obviously, the Everton game happened. But then, because of last night, all of a sudden, nothing's as bad as it seemed New Year's Eve. Like, New Year's Eve, look, me, Matisse, a few others, our whole show got kind of hijacked on a whole, how the fuck do we stop Arsenal vibe, right? Now, a couple of days later, that they've dropped points to Newcastle. Admittedly, look, dropping points to Newcastle at home, it's not a bad result. But in hindsight, now it's like, okay, we beat Chelsea. All of a sudden, we're back within. Is it within?
It'll be 5 behind, I think.
No,
is it?
Nah.
I don't know.
4?
Guni, man.
It'll be 5.
I know it's football, innit? So.
I think Steve, it's 4. It's back at the moment.
I think it'll be 5.
Is it back to 5? Right, it's back to 5. Then there we go.
5,
and then all of a sudden, the whole last couple of days and the panic we had, kind of that goes away. But Steve is right. When you look at the team, the way we're playing at the moment, and look, it's not just the Everton game. Before the World Cup, we played Brentford at home. We lost 3-1. Before that, I think it was Fulham. Before that, it was Brighton. Even the Brighton game, we won 3-1. We didn't look that convincing. The positive is we've actually probably been better on the road this season than we have been at home so far, if you look at our results. So we go into it knowing we have to step up. And the other thing, Pep's bounce back is always good. When we have bad games, it's only a couple of bad games before we usually bounce back. So we've got the better of Chelsea the last couple of times. And I'll say the same thing I always say. If we want to be in a title race, these are the games we have to win. If we don't, then we just have to accept it. Look, Ste and I have been in a lot worse places. And it took a walk around Manchester on Saturday. On New Year's Day, I went for a walk and kind of was just thinking about things and thought, you know what? Why the hell am I acting like a spoilt kid, right? We've been in worse positions than this. If we do have one season where maybe we're not what we expect to be, we know we're going to be back next season anyway. But then, obviously, Arsenal drop points and we are where we are. So,
yeah, Guni, man, it's not looking great for Chelsea. But can you put a positive spin on anything at the moment?
On the pitch, I can't really help you, bruv, unless we help ourselves in January early enough, which I doubt is going to happen. Yeah, anyone that thinks Enzo Fernandez is the be-all and end-all, you're deluded. That's not the case. There's several other areas that we need to fix. Our first team options, listen, the performance that we're playing at right now is at championship level at best, and I don't even like to use championship like that because there's actually some kind of physicality in that league. Do you know what I mean? And we are void of that. Yeah. So this is why I'm not optimistic. I'm not over here to just say what people want to hear. I just say what I see, bruv. Yeah. And right now, what I see, it looks like any one of the 19 teams in the Premier League can beat us. That's what I'm seeing right now. Yeah. And some of that, obviously, not all down to the manager. Injuries have obviously happened. You can't really do much about that as a manager. But with what we have as injuries, there were situations in summer, areas in summer that were not addressed, and we're now suffering for it. The situation that we're now having to rely on Azpilicueta right back when he's finished. He's done out here. He shouldn't be playing. Yeah, we're now having to rely on him against Manchester City to us. Do you know what I mean? It's all mad. Yeah. And then outside of that, N'Golo Kante, the situation, we're looking to give this man a new contract after his injury record. Like, bro, and then when I look at what's available in that midfield, Jorginho, the same thing that I complain about him, lack of physicality. Once you press this guy, he's out of the game completely. It's now got to a point where if he's pressed out enough or he makes 1-2 mistakes, he doesn't even show for the ball anymore. So what use does he have? And we're playing against the Manchester City, who are renowned for possession-based football and moving the ball around. At this point, they don't even need as much athleticism to move around because they're that technically gifted. They can just play it through our midfield, ping, ping, ping. They're going to have opportunities. I just don't see how we're going to stop them. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Matisse he plays FIFA career mode and ultimate mode, so he might give you a 2-2 little. I don't know, man. What are you saying?
I had a clear up. So with this bunch of players, I almost got sacked. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie.
To be fair, Matisse, with the players that you've got Mbappe, and you nearly got sacked.
Yeah, but that's because you know what you did. You came onto my show with your juju, with your Man City Champions League juju. You sprinkled it everywhere, and you fucked up my campaign. That's what you did.
And then what happened in the league after that?
No, we don't talk about that. We lost on the final day. We nearly won the title. It is what it is. But
Did you get the sack? Did you get
I won the Champions League last year, and then you came in and sprinkled your little. So it happens. But
you're telling me so Roman's still in charge then, not Todd B.
No. It's 23. But listen, with Chelsea. With Chelsea, first of all, back to what you were saying about Arsenal, I wouldn't take too much confidence about what happened last night. As much as it was hilarious to see the mental breakdown of we should have had a penalty, we should have had this, we should have had that. They still played very well, and Newcastle were the best defense in the league. So if anybody's going to stop anyone from scoring, it's going to be Newcastle with 11 goals conceded. Arsenal still bopped the ball around properly. They still didn't allow Newcastle big chances. They still play well, and they beat 90% of the teams, 99% of the teams playing like that. So that's where Man City do have to pull the finger out now, because yesterday hasn't changed the fact that they're a serious team. For us, I just want to see Potter put the midfield back together a little bit. I think Zakaria should be playing as DM tomorrow. Shield in the back four. I don't want to see Jorginho in the starting 11 personally. I think if you're going to have Enzo Fernandez come in, then you need to start trying to use Zakaria as that DePaul, as that Luis at Benfica who plays next to Enzo. You need to start using him as a DM. When you bring in Enzo, then if Enzo comes in, he plays next to him, and you start to put that midfield together to make it make sense. Cover's obviously available as well. So I'd go with the same 4-3-3, but just move things around a little bit differently. And when we were speaking to Lewis on my channel, Man City in the wide areas, we need to try and expose them because, you know, they are susceptible to transitions. They are susceptible to giving away a few goals. We saw it against Brentford when they went 2 up top and they made it into a physical battle. Diaz is not there. Sometimes Pep is now tucking in Rico Lewis, who I'm very impressed with, but everything seems very narrow, seems very inverted. Cancelo comes in, Rico Lewis comes in, Grealish comes in. Everybody just comes in, and it's very compact. And they're not taking advantage of the wide areas like they used to. They used to have mad off the ball movement, you know, and all they used to do is they just used to just play it off the touchlines. The wingers would come inside, the Sanés, the Sterlings, etc. And then it's just one pass from Gundogan, one pass from De Bruyne, and next thing you know, you're in. And when Foden was at his best, he was basically capitalizing off Haaland being the distraction and doing that role. But obviously, he's been in and out of the team now, so it's a little bit destabilized. But like I said, they're still favourites going into the game. For me, it's just we have to just hopefully do something in the wide areas and be very compact and defensively solid.
Yeah, and you got no Reece James, no.
Yeah, well, you know that's half the team gone. Do you know what I mean? That's half the team gone. No Reece James is basically. You may as well just wrap up.
Yeah, season done, cuz.
Yeah, you may as well wrap up the club. But the final thing I will say is that I would love to take Koulibaly and Aspilicueta out of the team at the same time, but we don't have enough players. So Trevor for me would go in over Aspi because Grealish was man of the match in the Carabao Cup final. He was brilliant. Even though he didn't get any GA, he was brilliant. So we need to make sure that we deal with whoever plays there, him or Foden. And yeah, I just think we need to make sure that, you know, Haaland, we need to have a Van Dijk Gomez day. I don't know who's going to do it, but somebody's got to have a Van Dijk Gomez day. If they don't do that, then it's going to be a long day, man. Long day.
Yeah. Quick one, guys that are quickly watching at the moment. If you can see down at the below, you can see Steve's Terrace Cult. If you want to go support Steve, go check in the description. You know, everyone's got, as you can see, Daps is actually wearing a piece of his clothing right now. You see Big Tobes, Tap In Tobes as well. That's literally always wearing Terrace stuff. Steve's always wearing Terrace stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a few bits and bobs as well. So go check that out. You can either scan it or check it down below. And also make sure you're smashing the like button as well. I'm not too sure what the likes are on, but 218 people, rising, 112 likes. Let's get this up for this panel, and also go follow them. You can see them in their little boxes at the moment, where it is. You can see their ats on the Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, Steve doesn't have Twitter, so I'll put his YouTube there. You can see it, or you can go check in the description as well. Steve, I'm just gonna give the same question back. Where Matisse thinks that the game could be won for them, particularly in the wide areas. Where do you think? You know what? I say, where do you think it's going to be one? But I think that's kind
of. Sorry. I've got to run. I don't mean to interrupt. I do have to run, people. Yeah, but big up everybody on the panel. Big up everyone in the chat. Most important thing, chat. Make sure you smash that like, subscribe if you are new. Quality content from everybody on this panel. Bless up.
I'll catch up with you later.
See you later.
Love that, man. As you can see, man knows football. You can get all his socials and whatnot down below as well, or you can just type it. Yeah, but Steve, same question back. Where's the game gonna be won? Because a lot of this season, including myself, I ain't gonna start putting my hands up saying, you know, like this the Haaland thing. If there's no Haaland, there's no goals. That kind of question. Where do you see you beating Chelsea? Because I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game personally.
I think he's got to make some serious changes tomorrow. I think he's got to play Cancelo left back. He's got to play Kyle Walker at right back. He's got to play Jack Grealish on the right. He's got to play Phil Foden on the left, same as he did in the derby. He's got to play
Grealish on the right.
I'd play Grealish on the right, Foden on the left, or even swap it, whatever they want to do. But Foden's got to play now. Mahrez, for me, slows it down a little bit too much for me. I would actually like to see Calvin Phillips start with De Bruyne and Rodri, just to get. Calvin Phillips needs minutes. He's paid £50 million for a guy started 4 games. He's come back from England duty overweight. It's not funny when you're involved in a title team. You've been bought as a cover for Rodri. Fernandinho last season was cover for Rodri. There was games Fernandinho came in, did a fantastic job. Rodri had a break. Rodri's had no break. He's been to the World Cup, played every game. Centre back, he's come back, he's got to play every game. So I'd be interested to see that. And I think if we do that, I think Calvin Phillips, Rodri, De Bruyne midfield strong. I think with the outlet of Foden and Grealish and Haaland, I think that's a team to beat them. But like you say, when Pep Guardiola's your manager, we can say what we want. It means fuck all because the guy's got it in his head. The guy can just, if he wants to play Kyle Walker up front, he's playing him up front. No one's, you know what I mean? It's mad. And I think the Everton game just the Brentford game before the World Cup didn't sit well with a lot of people, but then we had the World Cup break. To come back at Leeds, which is a tough place. Leeds is a tough place, but Leeds had to come and fight because they're at home, so we got them. We just got to do our job now. We know what to do. I don't think this World Cup's helped us at all. We're a notorious team from starting the season slow. We start getting into our rhythm around Christmas time and we kick on. We start getting into our rhythm and then bang, there's a World Cup. And then you come back and players are overweight. Some have not got the right body language. He's not playing him. It's a bit strange for everyone, but we just need to keep on the coattails of Arsenal. We've got to go to Chelsea. Don't take anything for granted. Don't read into the hype. They're all still international players. Look at the players on the pitch. They're all superstars. You know, we just got to get our job done. Get in there. Hate Chelsea, mate, with a passion, that ground. Hate the ground, hate the place. Just get in there, get the 3 points and fuck off. And then we'll see them again on Sunday. That's all I want to do.
Problem is, you can't fuck off that quickly because of the fucking trains.
You can't get out of the place, no. So tomorrow's going to be a mad one. But yeah, there's no trains, by the way. So if anyone spots one empty seat on the telly and starts tweeting about it, put it into context because there's not one fucking train running from Manchester. So it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. Jamie, what mod is it that's being, did someone call you a wanker on the chat? Wait, what's going on? If there's a mod doing that, you're getting removed as a mod. It's as simple as that. I'm cracking down on that shit. Don't do that. Not in this chat. This ain't no football terror shit. Don't allow that. Anyways, man. Younes, Graham Potter, man. In or out? Pause.
Man, I gotta be honest. I think it's going more towards out. But I get the logic and I get the process and what Chelsea are trying to do, which I agree with. I'm just not sure if Potter is the right guy to lead it. But I mean, look, the pressure's not quite there 100% from the club. It's definitely not. I know they're backing him. We all know this. But results are results. And I think starting from tomorrow onwards, depends obviously Man City is kind of expecting that's going to be a really hard game. But after that, FA Cup against City at the Etihad, that'll be another one.
Oh,
and
wait,
then after that,
this weekend?
Yeah, we're going back to that.
Yeah. Batista's face.
Yo!
Why do you think we're in the gutter?
No, they're gonna. All right. So you're telling me they removed you from the Carabao Cup. They're probably gonna remove you again from the FA Cup. They're about to put you below 10th place even. And Fulham, your arch nemesis rivals, are going to be above you by 3 or 4 places, maybe. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and then we play Fulham next.
But Younes, they don't have Mitrovic, so we might have a chance.
Well, I know. It's mad. We're happy about Mitrovic not playing.
This sounds like
the problem is, Cass, that you lot in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, you lot are looking in the pot before you pull out who you lot have got now. So this is a problem that United are literally handpicking their way to both Wembley finals, right? And it's leaving poor old Chelsea having to face City in both cups. It's the way it is.
So what is it then about Potter, man? Like, do you not want to take the mold of what Arsenal did with Arteta? Because it seems to me that Arteta, the way things are going, like trust the process, give him time, let him get his squad together. Yeah, remember, Potter hasn't spent a single penny yet, by the way, on any sort of players that he wants. So why is it that Chelsea fans can't give him time and just you might have to take a beating a little bit before he gets better again? Do you know what I mean? It's going to get, like you, man, probably told me. I'm not saying you specifically, but a lot of you told me it's going to get worse before he gets better. I'm going to say the exact same thing to you guys.
Well, this is the thing, and the fan base, to be honest, is quite 50-50 on this. There's a good portion that are like, no, give Potter all the time, completely behind him. Even if we drop to the depths of hell, we'll be okay. And then there's another half, which is like, there's already factors about Potter which doesn't fill us with confidence. And then there's people that are a bit in the middle, willing to give it maybe a bit of time, maybe the January window, and then see what happens. Which, to be honest, I feel like I'm more towards there, because it's true, a manager deserves to have a window or two, you know. But my issue with Potter, which I don't think we can apply to others like Arteta, Ten Hag, any other managers from the top teams that came initially and showed what they had to do, is the blueprint in terms of what are they actually trying to do? What is the way that we're trying to play? It's not clear. Its personality isn't quite showing, whether that's on or off the pitch, whether we're talking about on the pitch tactically, or we're talking in terms of man management during a game, how to, kick a boot at someone's backside if they have to, how to change the game, the substitutions, all of that. There's an issue with all of those things. Some people are saying, well, okay, fine, we'll just wait until we can get rid of all the players. That can happen over a long period of time, but how low are we willing to drop? And in the modern game, results speak. If it gets to a certain red line, it gets to a certain red line. So it's it depends what you're willing to sacrifice. I can only speak for myself. I'm not willing to drop below 10th, for example, and just sit in the depths of that 15th for something crazy like we did, once. For the sake of the process. Arteta, for example, came in and there were many doubts about him. I had my doubts about him. Truth be told, though, he got an FA Cup pretty quickly and managed to then filter out the players that he saw causing an issue. And when you looked at personality or way of playing, it was quite evident what he was already trying to do. It's just whether people had faith in it. With Potter, all those questions still remain. I don't know. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Like Ten Hag, for example, it's pretty clear. And you can see him on the touchline. You can see him away from the games, the way he's talking in the press conference, everything about it. With Potter, like today, for example, in the press conference, he was saying that, it's, I'm going to paraphrase, Matisse can step in to correct me if I was wrong here, but something along the lines of, it's going to have to go backwards for a little bit. It's not all about just succeeding. You need to suffer a little bit in order to then maybe start getting wins later. And it's something about just accepting, something along the lines of, I don't want to say it's accepting losing, but dropping points kind of happens. Well, you're Chelsea manager, mate. That's not really what everyone wants to hear at the moment. So,
but he's being honest, though, isn't he? And
he's being honest.
I think Chelsea fans, they should know that we are going to be dropping points, and we are going to be. None of us even think we're getting top four. So that says it all, really, doesn't it? And I think Chelsea, for the last few years in the league, haven't necessarily always deserved to even be in the top four anyway, even with better managers like Tuchel. I remember many a time us scraping it on the final day. We lost a match, I think, to Aston Villa. We needed Tottenham. We needed Gareth Bale to score a hat-trick or some nonsense for us to actually qualify. Yeah. We didn't even qualify on our own accord. I think with him, the reason why I'm giving him the time, even though I didn't actually even really want him, because by the time Tuchel was sacked, I was still processing that, and then next thing you know, Potter's in charge. I didn't even go through a list of who I even really would favour in this job role, because Tuchel being sacked was such a shock. But I think with him is, yes, definitely I agree with everything on the personality point and the charisma, and I think that is why a lot of fans are not taking a shine to him. People are not tuning into press conferences. People are not really watching his post-match interviews, because it is very bland, it's very boring, and that's not working in his favour, because when it's not going right on the pitch, if you like the person, if you connect with the person, that buys you more time. But I disagree with Arsenal. I think Arsenal took a long time to show what the hell they were doing, at least in what I was looking at. There was back-to-back 8th place finishes. I didn't know what the hell Arsenal were trying to do half the time. They brought in Willian. Do you know what I mean? There was so much going on. It's only really until maybe the back end, middle part of last season, and I'm right, okay, maybe there might be something going on when he got rid of Aubameyang, the defeat against Manchester City, etc. But with Potter, yes, I think it's taken a while for him to get to grips with a style. That's not my biggest problem. My biggest problem is the lack of commitment on the pitch, and the lack of the players don't seem to be playing for him, which is fine. Players have down tools for managers before, but if they're not playing for him, you have to be ruthless. And that's my question mark for him, is he going to get rid of the players quickly enough? Is he going to say like a Pep, Joe Hart, out you go first window? You know, like a Arteta with Aubameyang, out you go. If you've got a 5-year contract and you're making 60 million, you should be able to have the power to say, I want him out, I want him in, I want him out, I want him in. And you've got the owner who is willing to be literally a crackhead and go for anyone and get rid of anyone. So you have no excuse. You have no excuse. We have no debt. I think this is the last year. Apparently, FFP is not looking at, you know, too strictly on finances because you can still use the COVID excuse, right? Which is why we're going crazy on that side of things. Take advantage of it. And I want, if you don't like some of the players we have, or I don't like something, get rid of them, move them, and let's really in the next window and summer flip this squad how we should be flipping it. And his in-game management needs to be a lot better because he's making really dumb substitutions, like the last one, bringing in Gallagher and playing him in a double pivot when you have Lewis Hall, who's much more technically press resistant, etc. Not bringing on Amari Hutchinson. Yeah. These are the things that he needs to sort out very quickly, and he simply just needs to, I hope behind the scenes he understands the magnitude of the club that he's in, and he's not treating it like a free hit, because as Younes was saying, and we were saying it this morning on my channel, there is a baseline of expectation. You can't just drop to 15th, 14th. You know, let's not take the piss here. Do you know what I mean? You still have a proper squad, so you need to be in minimum top 6 by the end of the season, really, if you're serious about shit.
Yeah, Smoky Settings are big up for the super chat. It says that Benoit or Badiashile, I'm gonna guess. Chelsea can spray the ball. There's a centre back that might be able to do something left-footed as well. You about to say something as well, Daps?
No, I was just going to say I kind of agree with Younes on what he was talking about. But there is an element I agree with Matisse as well. On the pitch, I think City played Arsenal very early doors when Arteta joined there, and I was very surprised at how well they were playing out from the back so quickly, because when Pep joined us, it took us a whole year to get used to that. Admittedly, the personnel we had were just completely wrong aged, and it took Pep had to get fullbacks in and a keeper to do that. But one of the early games against Arteta with City, we won, but I was watching them play out from the back thinking, do you know what? They've picked this up extremely quickly. But then not long after that, they kind of reverted away from it. It's almost like he thought, now we're not ready for this yet. But for me, it was always the thing with Arteta that I saw very, very early on. And this is where I'm not seeing it with Potter. Was as a City fan, I could see exactly from his first press conference when he said, everyone at this club's pulling in different directions. We all need to be pulling in the same direction. And I think he even went as far as did the Pep thing, as from the players to the canteen staff and all of that. And straight away, I thought, right, I get it. Then you're seeing him early doors. It was Ozil and a few other players.
Guendouzi and
first
loads
transfer
of them.
window, didn't he cut the wage bill by about 800,000 a week?
He got rid of a lot.
And you could see, right, this is what he's looking to do. And I kept saying to Arsenal fans, listen, you clearly, from he spoke on it and then he's getting rid of players, you clearly have a lot of bad eggs. And that's his focus, right? Is getting, and now we look at it, he's got a group of players that listen to every word he says, right? He had to get rid of them. At Potter, I think, with Potter at Chelsea, I think that's what you lot are looking for. You're looking to see what his stamp is. What is your direction? Whatever it is. And I think this January transfer window is quite important, because if we go back to the summer, we were being told that every sign-in Tuchel had signed off. Down to the Aubameyang one, that didn't really make sense. It was like, we know Tuchel signed that off because they're pals. He said it's his adopted son or something. And then about 2 weeks later, your board got rid of him. And it's like, so now with the January transfer window, it's like you kind of want to see some of the signings, you to be able to go do the maths and go, that is a Potter signing. I get it. Otherwise, it then gets to a point where it's like, hold on a second.
Yeah, I think the only thing I look at with the ownership is it's a shame they didn't do. I know, well, the context is, of course, they had no contacts, they had no networking done, they were behind on deals because other clubs were able to tap up players way before they were even officially in power, because they were going for a whole bidding process. But it is a shame that we didn't do less and we actually just kept a Levi Colwell and kept an Ian Matson. You would have actually put a lot less pressure on the season if you had done.
And left back plays for Burnley at the moment.
He's a brilliant player. Yeah,
I
he's a brilliant player.
Live Man United versus Burnley. That is a very, very good player.
He's a very good player. It's a shame that we didn't do less, and we just, because of course when you come in, you want to make a stamp. So I'm not surprised. You want to show that you're serious, and you want to show that you're going after top players to replace outgoing top players from the previous regime, the Rudigers, Christiansens. But it's a shame we didn't do less, and we just kind of did the bare minimum, considering we had no recruitment team and we had no long-term manager. Because now there's just, again, literally already we're looking at some of the signings. We're thinking, okay, Fofana, hopefully you're not injury prone, but we can see some ability there in the future. Aubameyang, complete waste of time, complete waste of energy to even bring him into the team. There's a reason why Arteta got rid of him. I definitely didn't want him. And he's not really bothered whether we win or lose. He's not really committed to the cause. He's not even a good enough player to even have that attitude in the first place.
How much did you get in a week? 300 grand.
I wouldn't want to know
So
personally.
It's just like what people say. They come to Man United. They have like a holiday, you could say, and all that kind of stuff. It's the same thing for Chelsea. It's like he's gone there, knowing he doesn't need to prove himself. He don't need to do anything. But he's going there for money.
I don't think Cucurella is a bad player. I think he's a good player. I think Sterling's a good player. But when you just keep adding more and more fuel to the fire without actually figuring out why the house is burning down in the first place, then you just, players that are good players are now starting to even look awful. And it's like, it's us. We're the constant. We are the constant. It has to be us. It can't be them all the time. It can't be every single new player that comes in as shit once. It has to be us. We have to be the issue. What we've done over the last few years, what we've done with the managers, the areas that we failed to address, like midfield. We haven't bought a midfielder since Theresa May. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's mad. It is mad.
You threw that one for a second.
Brother,
it
just looks like a bit.
It
just looks like a bit of a mismatch, mate, from the outside looking in. It's like Chelsea always had a lot of direction under Roman. You could see signings coming in, even lesser signings under the radar, promising players. A couple of years down the line, they were either loaned out to make money on, or they come into the first team. They never really went round the direction of just grabbing anyone. In the early days of Roman, they did grab whoever they wanted. They didn't care. They just grabbed whoever they wanted, made a great team. This time, I mean, Koulibaly, come on. It's not really a Chelsea signing for me. Not when you're going should be going for the title. You look at the players around you, the teams are strengthening. They're getting young, hungry players, are freshening it all the time. Raheem, yeah, okay, I get that. He's a London boy. He's got something about him. But I did say about Raz that, there's a lot of times he's very, very unproductive, and Man City bailed him out the shit. Now you're seeing it in the Chelsea team. He's having a lot of chances here and there. And when you don't win, it's frustrating to see it because he's there to score goals. Oba, like I say, mad signing. And then now all of a sudden, Nkunku's come in. The kid from Monaco's come in, Enzo Fernandez. And you're thinking, hold on a minute. That's sort of the direction of signing you should be getting in. But then you've also brought a load of shit in as well. So it's like a bit of a mismatch of madness at the minute at Chelsea. Just don't see.
Our teams, we spent $1 billion in the last 10 years, Manchester clubs, they're about to go and spend about 500 million. What we've done in 10 years, in 6 months, half of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether that's Todd Bowley coming in and flexing and thinking that he has to do that. That might slow down. But I just think Chelsea's going through a mad period. What happened to Chelsea with Roman and that was bollocks. And it's a lot for a club to get through. It's not just like a quick fix. You can't just change an owner and expect everything to slot back into it because you bring in new people, new ideas. I don't like that. I don't like him. He's my coaching staff. He's the new physio. It's mad how it is, but I think it's got to slow it down. I think Potter, to me at the minute, he's not looking good from the outside. He's not looking like he's got a pair of bollocks to me. He's like he's controlling that ship. It looks like there's other people controlling it and he's just sort of there taking the shit. A bit like Ten Hag at United. We knew that the ship was sailing without a rudder. He's come in. He's got rid of the big one, Ronaldo. He's fining players for not turning up. He's saying the right things in press conferences. United fans are all on board with him. They finally look like they've got a direction and they're following him. And I think that's what Chelsea needs to do. Potter needs to galvanise the fans. He needs to show them what he's trying to do, what kind of system he's going to play, what kind of players he's looking at to bring in that system. Then you can say, that's who Potter wants. He wants him to play because we're going to play that way. Then you'll get it. But at the minute, it just looks like Todd's having a bit of fantasy football time and going and grabbing a few mad superstars. And it looks like Potter sort of like don't really know what to say. But I don't know.
On Sterling, do you not miss Sterling to a degree in the way you're watching City and you're looking at, because you're speaking about putting Grealish on the right, and I'm guessing that's for some width, or Kyle Walker coming in for some width. You know,
Walker for width.
Do you not miss the width and him holding the width and being able to make those runs off the ball? Because at the moment everybody wants the ball, everybody's coming central, and he's the one player that, because he does make some runs for Chelsea, and if we have passes like you,
if playing the false nine, and we need that width, Raheem to come in, start linking up the play. If we played Raheem Sterling now with Erling Haaland, it'd be a fucking nightmare, because every time Sterling would get through and try and the ball would be on to square it to Haaland, he'd shoot. And we'd all be ripping him apart, saying, "What you doing? Fucking pass." Yeah. So Raheem Sterling's time at Man City is gone. It was a good time. He's not what we're about. Pep's slowing it all down now, whether that's right or wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have had Raheem Sterling on the right or the left and Leroy on the other side. Kevin De Bruyne threading the ball through. Leroy runs onto it, in behind the back four, passes it across the middle. Haaland taps it in. That's great on FIFA, but it ain't working at the minute for Man City. And like I say, Riyad and Jack, they're getting the ball and they're driving into the box with it. I wish sometimes they would get the ball, just get their head up that little bit early and get the ball. Do you know, if you fire, I'm telling you now, if you fire 10 crosses in our box, Haaland would get on the end of 6. And he'd nearly get on the end of the rest, because he's that good with his movement, but he can't anticipate it. I've seen Riyad Mahrez bring the ball down, and the first time cross across the box is on for Haaland to tap it in, and Riyad's cut back on his left, and Haaland's shaking his head, having to come back out. Same with Jack. Jack's shitting himself because he's got no confidence, and he's trying to shoot at the first defender when he could just literally go on the outside and cross. You watch Man City play next, you won't see Jack Grealish cross the ball once.
No, you won't. This is the thing, and this is the thing where, like, I've been having this conversation all week with City fans and other, mainly City fans, but others. And what it is that the balance is just not right at the moment. Like, Grealish so for example, on the left, Grealish is very clear. Grealish is not looking to cross the ball. He's looking to cut inside and either shoot, or he's looking to cut inside and place mainly ball retention. To be fair, he won't even shoot too much. He's so bothered about ball retention that he'll get down the wing, then he'll cut inside and play the simple pass to Rodri or to Bernardo Silva or to De Bruyne.
Do you know Liverpool, right? You watch Liverpool, sorry, Daps. They spam a lot of crosses into that box, right? Hell of a lot of crosses into the box, right? It works for him, because Darwin Núñez at the minute,
except for Núñez,
it bobbins, but he's getting on the end of it. If you put Haaland in Liverpool's team this season, he'd have 40 fucking goals now.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because that is what we knew. But Pep does not do the crossing the ball in the box, because it gets headed out and they can catch us on the counter attack. Yeah. But I think he's got to grow a pair sometimes and think. Law of averages tells me, if you put 10 crosses in that box, that big Norwegian's getting on the end of 6. If you put 60 passes across the edge of the box, we ain't doing fuck all.
Nah. And the worst thing
playing at the minute.
And Steve, the worst thing about and I'm just talking on the left for now, but left is an example because very similar is happening on the right. On the left, so you've got Grealish doing that. Now, Grealish getting down the wing, then cutting in and looking for the pass. He does draw players by doing that. So sometimes if he's drawing players by doing that and then popping the ball to De Bruyne, Cancelo, and they're then popping the ball in the box, no problem. The problem is on Saturday against Everton, we didn't have Cancelo on the pitch, right? We had Ake on the pitch, which means therefore there is no delivery hitting the box, right? Because there's no Cancelo there. And then it was a bad day. De Bruyne was bad. So then all of a sudden, there's no need for Grealish. Foden came on for 10 minutes, Steve? 10, 15 minutes? Yeah. And he created more havoc down the left than they did. So it's not that we haven't got the players. It's just at the moment, Pep isn't picking. He's putting too much faith in Grealish.
He's playing Rico Lewis, right? He's playing Rico Lewis as an inverted fullback, which is absolutely fine, right? If you're playing a top-class team like Liverpool the other day in the Cup, and we play inverted fullback and we get an extra man in midfield, we get on the ball and we beat them that way, that works. Against Everton, who was sat that fucking deep, no point in playing an inverted fullback. What's the point? Because there's that many bodies in the middle of the park anyway. You're just adding to the fucking extra body in there. And that's it. And that's
I think that's why Walker's key.
You need to get down the sides. I think this is why you wanted Cucurella, because at least you would have had some pace down the left. You've got Cancelo, but then there's a different option. You've got somebody that's going to stretch the pitch and going to stay out wide.
Yeah.
Obviously, the money in the end was too much. Obviously, Sergio Gomez has come in, and it doesn't, he's obviously he's not the same caliber of player. It looked like maybe you guys have done something fugazi with the market and found a little gem, but he's not playing. So
he's not at the moment.
I'm surprised. I'd be very surprised if you guys don't go into the market and
for another left back, not right back though.
Get some width. Yeah, I don't know in what positions you'd want to.
It'll be left back, not right.
Right wing, left back. You need some width somewhere.
You know what I need? I need right now. Yeah, I need guys. There's a
trophy.
Yeah, I need that as well, which we probably will get this season. I think we'll get one. I think we'll get one this season. But Matisse,
which one? I want to hear it.
Nah, probably a Carabao. I think a Carabao Cup.
Okay.
Well, you're definitely going for the trophies from you played Maguire and Lindelof. In the league, I'm
so glad you got that perception because I said that exact same thing yesterday. I think he's going for the
100%.
The domestic.
There's no way you're starting Lindelof and Maguire in the league, and then probably in the cup at the weekend you'll go and start Martinez and Varane. So it's very clear. Yeah. You're a cup team now, but I get it, bro.
Nah, it's fine. I don't mind. Better than Chelsea always. But anyways, not the point, guys. What I want is you guys to stop whatever you're doing. Literally, see your phones that you might be watching like this. If you've got an iPhone or whatever, or brick Android. Turn it this way so you can actually come off the video and like the video. If you don't mind, just take 2 seconds of your time. And 49% of you are not subscribed right now. 49. There's 350 people in here. Also, take some time out and go check out these boys' channels as well. Or men, shall I say. I don't want to say boys. I'm younger than every single one of you. But
I'll take boy happily. I'm good with that.
But all these guys taking time out of their day. Big Steve's, obviously channels in the description below alongside Matisse's, MAH or Matisse Armani. And you got Younes. Younes Talks Football. Go check out his socials, Instagram. And obviously Daps and myself, of course, run this channel. But other than that, Younes, been a bit quiet there. Yeah, you're not escaping just yet.
Listening, observing.
Where do you go? Where does Chelsea go from here? Like, what do you want to see this January? Other than Enzo, which I think is when you think of the deal that's being done, and I'm seeing Fabrizio Romano coming out saying the deal's not even fully done yet. They're still working on structures. 120 million is definitely way overpriced. I get it. It's January tax, it's winter tax. They know you need a midfielder. Then you got the World Cup as well. You need more than that. And I'm kind of surprised that you're not even going for... There's no links to anybody in the forward line yet.
Well, I mean, when you flip it, firstly, he's got a release clause. So I think that's why it's gone that high. His release clause is actually, I think, 120 million euros or something like that. So we've had to go above that so we can split the payments because that's the only way Chelsea can escape FFP, I think. So there's that. But no. When you look at it, people screaming for a right back.
Yeah, you do.
Which James is out.
I mean, you got Malo Gusto at Lyon. He's there for about 20 million, if that.
Well, I mean, whether we even linked with anyone properly or substantially, it doesn't look like it. And there's talk about Mudryk and taking him away from the. I
like that one. Do that.
Arsenal.
No problem. Do that right now.
Can you imagine that happens? Matisse is gonna go absolute shame if that happens.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm picking and choosing which character I'm gonna play if we do that one because we are 10th and they are first, so I have to be careful.
It's true. And
you're not being that careful about Arsenal, Matisse. To be fair,
true.
When you look at it, it does seem like we could be, even though there are talks, but it seems like Arsenal and him are set on the move together. So. Whether it's just a way for Shakhtar to get more money, it could be. It will definitely ramp up his fee. So the winners in this are probably going to be Shakhtar. But apart from that, we're not linked to anyone else where we actually need players. And I think when you look at the right back situation that we're desperate in, that's the key right now. Midfield, Enzo coming in, yes, would be brilliant. Is he going to be the solution? No. There's a lot more work that needs to be done. And ultimately, as we were talking earlier on, if we're going to not buy every single player we try and chase in the January window because it's really difficult, it's to try and play those young players that you might actually get something out of. Someone like a Hall, someone like a Hutchinson, Chukwuemeka, those lads that are there. And I truly believe the fan base would understand it. If they were to be given substantial game time, the fan base would actually begin to go, no, you know what, all right, we're starting to see what's going on. We'll back you in that decision because the others aren't doing it. So there's a blend of the two. That, and I think we actually need to go in for a right back before it's too late.
I would love for you guys to go and steal Tottenham's target, Pedro Porro, for 40 million and make them just even more miserable.
We got a buyback on him.
Tottenham
Steve.
can't buy Pedro Porro without. We've got first option on him at 25
Yeah.
million. So
Yeah, but if you don't get him, someone else can
I
get
don't,
him.
I don't think they
Yeah,
can
but
afford.
shout though, to be fair.
Someone's
isn't it?
willing to pay 40 million. We'll just buy him for 25 and then go and sell him like we did with Angelino.
Make you
Buy him back.
make you 15 million profit, 100%. Listen, guys, I gotta go, guys.
I was gonna round up in the next literally few minutes. Can I get before you do go, then Matisse? Do you mind giving me your prediction for tomorrow?
My honest prediction is 2-1 to Man City, and I'm still being generous with that.
And what's
So,
your
yeah.
non-honest one?
1-1.
Fair. Yeah, you're in the mud, man. Long may it continue.
Oh God,
Guys, get
No.
your predictions in as well. I'll go through some of them just before we end it. Steve, what's your prediction?
I'm going for 2-0 City. Late goal. We 1-0 and then late finish it off.
Fairs. Who's going to score? Haaland, obviously.
I think Haaland will score and Jack Grealish will get the last one.
I don't know why I keep thinking KDB for some reason. Is that because of that 1-0 win from back?
Nah, because he likes a goal against Chelsea.
Yeah.
He does like a goal against Chelsea.
Younes,
And do you know what?
go on.
That's a good point because he wasn't good the other day. And usually with De Bruyne, when he has a bad game, you usually see him
Of
bounce
course,
back.
why I nicked his bird. That's why he hates fucking Chelsea. Not for that.
Yeah, that is probably it, to be fair. Younes, yeah, man, I don't see any enthusiasm in your face right now. So I'm going to guess what we saying?
I'll be honest. It's going to be mad, but I think 3-0 City.
Oh, even Nick Sauna's got that one
fuck
as well.
me.
Jeez, I'm saying 2-1 to City, 4-1 City, 3-0. Lucky's saying 3-1 Alvarez, Jack, and Grealish start. Fucking emojis 3-1. Prime is saying 2-1 City, but also can see a 1-1 draw. Daps, you have to get this win, otherwise you're just letting Arsenal off the hook again.
But you know what it is. You know when things get serious, yeah, I have to revert back to business end of last season when I was saying I'm sorry, I'm not doing predictions. And things have got serious now, bro. I'm reverting back to all my superstitions now. I have to. I've got to be wearing no colours on game days. I have to because it's got to that point.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Fair,
so
fair.
I'm sorry you ain't getting a
Do
prediction.
whatever you need to do, man.
Yeah, man.
We
need you
spoke about
to-
it, bro. We have to.
Yeah.
Matisse is willing to run on the Emirates and glue himself to the
the
posts
goalposts,
if it
yeah.
means that we can stop Arsenal in some way. So I've got to do the same. I can't do a prediction. I can't do a prediction. It's like that.
I'll do one for you now. I'm going to go 1-1, not because of based off thoughts. I'm just doing that because that's what I want. So 1-1 for me, and I need that result more than ever. Because that means we can go beat City next week and go above them.
You keep screaming that, bro. Remember what happened last time?
I don't mind last time. Last time's last time. We're not going to do this pass thing like Chelsea. They're in the past now, just like Tottenham. Anyways, anyone else got anything to say before we end?
You deserve what's coming. If you don't pick up a trophy with this
I was
chat,
just about to say,
you
yeah.
deserve what's coming. You deserve it.
I don't.
You're one of those shameless.
Don't shoot
shameless-
the messenger. Yeah,
shameless.
You know what's funny? I'd love to say most results
You know
this
what?
season I've been right about, except a couple, which was obviously one of them was City. I did say 1-1 draw. I didn't say we was going to beat them.
You need a trophy to back this up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nah, Matisse, it's all right, man. Look, you can't do anything to me. I'll beat you on FIFA. I'll beat you when you come to Old Trafford. Don't really matter what it is. The game, you name it, I'm winning.
Just make
Have
sure
you played them at the bridge yet?
Yeah,
you have.
we
You
should
have.
smashed him,
Yeah.
and he rightfully so said so. But yeah, anyone else got anything else to say? Steve, Younes, Daps, anything coming up?
No, all good. Early morning drive to Stamford Bridge for me.
Good luck on the drive.
There you
Good
go.
luck. It's a
Now,
long
just
one.
follow all these guys. All their socials and their channels are in the description. Make sure you follow them all up. Appreciate them coming on. And catch me on Man Knows Football at 9 p.m.
Yeah, and tomorrow we're gonna do a reaction, obviously the Chelsea Man City game, but we're gonna have a call-in show. So any members or if anyone wants to become a member, then you can do that. But other than that.